Hey guys and girls, Glenn Hayden, Susie Green from Hayden & Hayden Real Estate, where we're coming to you today to talk all things property management related. And the main one we're going to talk about today is, if you're an investor, what are the 5 key things you need to know about self-managing your own property? You can see that Susie's representing today, wearing the mighty green and gold for the Socceroos semi-final tonight against England. Go the Tillies.
Yay.
For all those fans out there. We are going to be barracking. I have no nails still, so
let's hope there's no penalty shootout.
Let's hope we don't go to penalties again. So, Susie, kick us off. What are we here to tell our landlords today?
Okay, so if I want to self-manage my own property, Glenn, am I going to have to know the Residential Tenancy Act?
Yes, you need to know the Residential Tenancies Act intricately. I suggest downloading or get a copy from Services New South Wales in the legislation tab that will discuss all things around notice periods, eviction notices, what happens if the tenant's in breach of rent, but you need to know that back to front intricately.
Okay, what about landlord insurance? Do you recommend
Highly
that
recommend.
I get that?
Highly recommend. Every landlord should have landlord insurance. It will generally cover 3 things, such as tenant loss of rent, tenant damage to the property, and public liability insurance. So reach out. You can to get onto maybe Terry Shear or EBM Insurance if your own home policy doesn't have that.
Now, what about application checks? Because let's be honest, you and I, we manage a medium portfolio of properties, and the most time-consuming aspect of it is going through the application checks. Now, what about if you're you don't have a property manager to do that? How do you go about doing that?
Oh, that's a good question. Look, one thing the major portals, when you put the property online with the major portals, gives you access to is their application screening. So for landlords out there, the main things that you really want to nail down is asking the tenant for copies of their current tenancy ledger. Now, if that's from a real estate agent, they will be able to get that. Pay slips, confirming that they actually do have a job. And let's face it, most tenants that may apply for privately managed properties may have been knocked back from real estate agents due to the fact that the screening process found out some errors. So you need to be really diligent on screening your applications.
Now, you made a comment about tenant ledgers, checking tenant ledgers. Now, if I'm managing my own property, how am I going to keep a record of that?
Great question. There's some software out there you can obtain, but obviously to just run through your own property, making sure that we issue the tenant with a written receipt. So whether that's on a slip of paper, but can be done through an Excel document. But the main thing is you want to be keeping really good records of the tenant's paid to dates and where they're currently either in arrears, because you're going to need to know the tenancy agreement as to what the next steps are if that happens.
What about lodging a bond? Because obviously we do that through the rental bond board. If I self-manage my own property,
yes, you can still do
that.
Straight through the rental bond board. It's 4 weeks rent in New South Wales that you will lodge to the rental bond board.
And I guess my last point is screening tenants. Now, you and I both know how time-consuming that is. If I'm managing my own property, and look, let's be honest, we're all time poor. How am I going to manage that?
Okay.
What are your suggestions?
Look, people are people. You generally get a really good gut feel when you first meet somebody as to how they're going to be. But again, that is the biggest thing that you need to be concerned about, and also is your time, because the time that it takes to screen, to show your property, to attend to repairs and maintenance outside of normal hours, they're all things that take up the word time.
Well, Glenn, look, I've always classed you as my encyclopedia of real estate. I'm sure you've got so many more things to tell us, but look, there are our basic 5 tips of what we recommend if you want to self-manage your own property. If you've got any other questions,
reach out to us, Hayden & Hayden Real Estate. We are the property management experts in the Hills District, and we look forward to coming to you with our next video.